Morning folks, came from Australia at Carver Shop. Just heading down for the early. Gonna walk down for a change just to warm up a little bit. Hey, I want to continue on with a bit of historical stuff about the Vanuatu Surfing Association. So if you haven't seen the video about the origins of the VSA with Kathleen John, check out the link below, right? The starting ground or ground zero of VSA. Now, a few years after that, I want to say probably 2007, around then, I jumped out of where I was working and had just started in Carver, but was also doing this thing called Surfing Odds, right? So it was a online odds comparison for surf betting, right? So part of it obviously was a charity component, and it was basically if you were coming to Vanuatu, bring some surfboards, right? So it didn't get a whole lot of love or traction, but it did get one, and it was vitally important, right? And it led to the VSA just taking off. All right, so I get a message from a gentleman called Stewart, right? And he's coming over, and he wants to know what he can bring, right? I'm like, mate, that's great. You know, bring some bangers if you can. He also brought some school stuff as well, stuff to use, educational stuff. So he rocks up with his family, lovely Bronwyn and them. And I get to meet him for the first time. And he's this big, robust, I'm not going to say gregarious, but big character, right? And I get to introduce him to Kathleen, and he gets to hand some boards over to the kids. We hang out a little bit, and he heads home, right? He's pretty chuffed with himself. You know, charity work brings a sense of purpose, I guess, you know what I mean, to people. But he loves telling this story, and I love it too, right? So he gets home, and he's all, well, I've done a great job. I've taken a few surfboards and school books to Vanuatu. Right? Tells his old man about it. And his old man says to him, that's great, mate, but you just stroke your own ego. The thing with charity is that you keep doing it. Now, that resonated with him big time, right? Because from there on in, the Free family became powerhouses as it relates to VSA developed into, right? So they obviously enjoyed their time. They came back again 6 months later, more boards, more educational stuff, right? These trips started to become really frequent, and we became good friends, and family became good friends. And Stewie began to be known as this sort of guy that would turn up with these treats, with these boards, because far out, there weren't many around. I mean, the Pango crew call him Mr. Stewart, right? So Stewie and Bronwyn and them would come and bring these boards and top up boards, right? Now, this is right around the 2010s period. Their trips to Vanuatu became more and more frequent. The board numbers that they're bringing just continue to grow, right? So all of a sudden, you've got way more kids on top of what Kathleen had done and what else was floating around, getting in the water, right? That's vitally important for what comes next, right? So the VSA is starting to build out as an association. We've got a president and a secretary and, an executive. What we didn't have was anyone with a sense of financial savvy, right? Turns out Stewie's a barn burner accountant, right? So yes, Stewie became the treasurer of the Vanuatu Surfing Association and put all our books in order, which were non-existent prior to that, right? And helped oversee a lot of the fundraising that would come to then get the Vanuatu surf teams to areas in the Pacific to compete at the Melanesian Cup, or Cups, I should say. And then as Stewie's involvement increased, and visits, trips to Vanuatu increased, he was doing like 4 to 6 a year, right? He'd turn up with like 3 or 4 coffin bags, every quarter, and it'd be just fucking, yes, you legend, right? So Stewie's involvement's increasing. He then reaches out to the Surfest guys. I'm going to forget the main man at Surfest, Warren. I'm sorry, mate, but they have a parallel comp that runs with the main Surfest comp, which is the Schools Challenge. Stewie advises them that they want to put in a Vanuatu schools team, which they gladly accept, and then we go ahead and get the kids the boards and fundraising together for it. It was, and that schools comp, I think we sent like 5 teams over 5 years, right? And Stewie's in-laws, Jeff and Suze, who we'll get into in a later video, were a massive part in this sort of booming of development of Vanuatu surfing. There's that great line, you can't be what you can't see, right? You've got to remember, for the most kids, it's pre-internet. They've got no access to bags and stuff like that. So when they see high performance surfing, that's obviously the first time for them. They get better because they see it. They then, their performance improves. They get back home after these comps. The kids that have been on these comps and it's away, their surfing's improved, and that bang, all of a sudden the next level goes up, right? And that continues to happen. So we had this really rapid increase in Ni-Vanuatu surfing skill set, right? Whereas, 7 years earlier, it was pretty basic. All of a sudden, you got these kids busting airs out and, laying down some big lines and big hacks that would have seemed unfathomable a few years earlier. And that comes down to boards, right? And a whole range of other factors, but that's the primary one, right? And Stewie Free and family were instrumental in getting a rapid increase of boards into the system over there and then getting kids out and about travelling. Right? Here's the thing, right? The total number of boards the Free family brought into Vanuatu from 2007 roughly to 2016 exceeded 200 surfboards into the local scene that would otherwise have not have been there, right? That's like rocket fuel for development. And like obviously a big reason why Vanuatu was so successful domestically and regionally in that period in surf comps, right? Now, Stewie's involvement in the VSA continues to this day, still sits as treasurer. And when I look back on it now, it's a real challenge to see how the VSA could have got where it got without Stewie, right? You're a legend, dude. Like, you and Bronny and Em and Co's doing what you did to help out made it so that Vanuatu surfing was able just to accelerate at a rate that left our regional big brother competitors, or, neighbours, in the dust. Anyway, Stewie, man, when you get around to watching this, I hope this gives a good summary of where you're at. Because, mate, you are still a massive part of the VSA, and I think Vanuatu surfing, it's infinitely in a better place because of your involvement, mate. Thanks, legend. All right, I'm going to go hit those little runners over there. Wait for the next instalment of Vanuatu surfing history. Bye. Have a ripper day. All right, well, it's back for a cooking session, Lacey's. That's one of the best sessions of the year so far. Just want to close off that video about Stewart Free and the Free family's impact on the VSA and Vanuatu surfing. Stewie once said to me that, this is weird saying, but of all the things that he and his family have put into Vanuatu and Vanuatu surfing, they've got it back in orders of magnitude of, huge amounts, right? And that's really cool. I'm wrapped, that they feel that. Let me just say, from Olgeta Vlopango, Eritap, Pele, Tana, all Mount Vanuatu, all Vanuatu Surfing Association members, past and present, mate. The magnitude's on us, dude. You're a legend. Thanks so much, Stewie.
Families, thank you, Papa Stu, thank you, Mama Bron, and Emily and Cody, for everything you've done for the VSA crew, and thank you from me too, from all you've done, and thank you from the Vanuatu family too. May God bless your heart, and much love to you all. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you so much, Stu, Mall Free family. Vlay helping Vlay big one with their surfing. John?
Yeah, thank you, Stu. Thank you, Free family, plo, yes, helping me Vla, mo sponsor all beginning lo pang affiliates, especially for cousin, or Kimokata one opportunity where, yes, good for opportunity, change and plan the Lokata Kasanaya.
And great time. I always remember the time in Newcastle with Zarida, Eloti, and Angisi and Rishu, and that was a highlight, staying with you guys and going around Newcastle, getting spoilt by all of you and just having a really good time. So thank you for them and all of the other times you've supported all the kids and Surf Association.
Thank you.
Yoo-hoo.
What's there not to say about Stu? I'm a bit of a latecomer to the Vanuatu Surfing Association, but as I've seen over the last decade, Stu's one of the bedrocks. There's a few people that have gone on behind to get this association going. Stu's one of those guys. Honorary treasurer, and keeping everyone on track to make sure that those reports go on in time, making sure that doing donor runs for our kind supporters in Australia, storing things that need to be stored, delivering things that need to be delivered, and just a good all-round positive force in the association. He's the one that gets in there when you have those normal conflicts within organisations, and comes in and is the man that helps keep the peace and gets those juniors on track and really does everything that he needs to do. And of course, just such a great family that he's come from. Stu, we love you lots. He's my partner in crime when it comes to fellow West Wing connoisseur. Just one of my favourite people in the world. And thanks, Stu, for everything you've done. We see you, we acknowledge you, we appreciate you, we love you.
Good morning. I'm Sanbah Free, Emily and Mama Brandwin, thank you to Mas, los support, Lilo, second Mubla, or picking apps, leg ropes, traveling Mubla, some overseas, you've lost shelter in Mubla, la house Mubla, surfboards, and you'll always make sure you'll bring you something, you come back, we'll give you more picking in it. Stewart, we're looking for see you, love, me and Kiola. We love you guys. We love you.
Just a quick shout out to the man, the myth, the legend, he bees Stewie Free and his merry band of followers, or leaders maybe, Bronny, M and Katie. Mate, what a legend, what a bloke you've been. I'll never forget the first time I met you at a VSA committee meeting, and mate, I'm just so pleased and inspired by everything you've done in the time that I've known you, and I know you'll continue. Hope you're well. And
Hello. I Stewart Free. Yes, I'm the Brownwin, Emily, Cody, Grandmasu. This is Albert, Yo Alberto. Yes, I would like to take this opportunity to give you guys a big shout out for the tremendous support towards the Vanuatu surfing community through the VSA. So we would like to say thank you for supporting us with the surfboards, especially for the surfers who have been traveling to Newcastle for the Meriwether competition. I would like to say thank you to Mas. For me personally, I've gained so much there, and also it helps me to, have the passion to go, to move forward and also to achieve great things. I've gained so much from you guys, and thank you for the support towards the guys in remote areas, especially in Tana, Bele and Guna. I've traveled with some, I remember Jason, Tamata, the little boy Tamata, so yeah. I understand they also had the great experience, so thank you Thomas for the love towards surfing in Vanuatu, and I hope to see you guys there in the near future. Peace.
Hey Stu, big up bro, you're legend. What you and the boys started is still living up and high. Just out of a 2-hour surf at Nawa. It was very good. Thinking of you all. Thanks for what you did and all that you started with the VSA. We're trying to pass it on to the kids and pass on the stock. And this is next generation of little surfers coming back from the water. Big up to you guys.
Stewie, what's there not to be said about Stu and the VSA? He's been a pillar to the organization. He's opened his heart and his home to the VSA. Over the years, Stu and his family have hosted the VSA team in their home in Sydney. He's stored boards over long periods of time, driven these boards from Sydney to Consolidation Point in Brisbane, for example, to get them across to Vanuatu. He's done our annual reports, chased us down for visas. He's just such a superstar, always there, such a positive force. What would we do without Stu?
Hello Stewart and Brownwin. I just want to give my acknowledgement to you guys, what you guys have did for us. And since our traveling 2013, when we first entered the international competition at Newcastle, Gold Coast, it was a privilege to be part of the competition, and you have helped us a lot, especially VSA and the Pango service. Brownwin and Stewart Free with Emily, Cody, thank you very much for your service. Thank you for your sponsorship towards the VSA, towards us, the Pango Village Boys. Thank you for helping us and providing us hospitality. We couldn't have done this competition without you. With your help, with your sponsor, just want to say thank you, especially Stewart Free. Thank you.
This guy has just the biggest heart. He's all heart. On you, Stu. And the whole community of Newcastle, Central Coast. We always used to come down to Surfest, and Stu, the Free family would always look after us and put us up. We'd always bring a little small crew of local board riders from here, school, for the school's tag team challenge, which was just the most awesome event. Big shout out to Warren Smith, Warren from the Surfest, and the whole gang of surfers. They're the most dedicated people. You know, always treated us so well, and the whole community of Newcastle always came down and gave us boards, gave us equipment, and you know, not just equipment, gave us everything. You know, they'd bring down all sorts of stuff that the kids here would bring home, and the families would be, you know, wrapped. So yeah, you know, funny enough, walking on the beach this morning, I came across one of the first boards that ever came over from Stewie's. It's like, well, not one, probably the second batch, but the old Hayden shape from Sanbah. Another shout out to Sanbah. These guys are legends, you know. Even though it's seen better days, this board, but you see what I mean. This is probably from 2013. It's missing a fin, but the kid's still out there ripping. You're still getting waves. Waves are pumping. A big shout out to Stewart Free, the Free family, Bron and Emily and Cody, the whole gang. You know, what an absolute legend. This guy has just the biggest heart.
Hey Stewart Free. Thank you for surfboard, more love you've been giving us since the day we started to surf, as in today. Thank you for support mo support you sa donate kam lo village. Me hope save something straight life lo house unless the pray from you all time and always stay safe with your family.
Big love, the Free family, the nicest family in the world. If everyone had a heart as big as these guys, the world would be a much better place. 15 years ago, watching from Australia what you guys were doing in Vanuatu with the VSA and the huge amount of boards and just love you were sending over there. And that was my main inspiration for wanting to get amongst it over here. Can't thank you enough for that. And here we are, you know, 14 years later, and I'm proud to be the president of the club that, you know, you helped build, and to be able to hand out and deliver the boards that you are still sending over. It makes me feel so proud, and it's an honor to say that you're my mate. All of you guys are family. Bronny, Am, Cody, and of course the big man Stu. Lay Marlo, we love you, brother. You!
Hello everyone, I wanted to do a big shout out to the Free family in Australia, Uncle Stewart, Auntie Bronwyn, Ted, Emily and Ty Cody. Wanted to say Faftai, thank you so much for all that you have done for the surfing community here in Vanuatu, all the Pekininis, and also for hosting us at Newcastle Surf Fest. Really enjoyed it and really had some of the best memories there. And Stu, I'm sorry for breaking that board last time I was there, and hope to see you guys soon.
Just a little shout out to the awesome Freeze family with such a big heart. Your contribution to surfing in Vanuatu is immeasurable. Not just the boards, but the passion and enthusiasm for it. You've really helped to bring surfing to Vanuatu. And thanks guys, can't wait to see you soon.
Hi, I'm Leah, Kathleen's daughter. A big shout out to Stewart Free and Bronwyn Free and the family for being there when Mom was alive. They were living in Vanuatu, supporting Mom, supplying surfboards. All the kids know the family really well here in Pango especially. Every time they get together, they would recall or reminisce about the days where they would go out and surf, or where they don't have any surfboards. They would gather surfboards and give them to the kids to use through Mum. Mum would be keeping the surfboards here, and the kids would come and take the surfboards from Mum for a little rent, maybe 50 baht too, I think, to get the surfboards down to surf, to keep so Mum could maintain the surfboards. Thank you, Stewart and Bronwyn, for supporting Mum. I would come back from studies and Mum would be telling me about all the good things Stewart and his family would be doing for Mum. For example, getting her back a sack of rice, and Mum would be so proud. So thank you. Whenever you come to Vanuatu, We're always here to support you in whatever we can when you come for your next visit. Thank you.
So I definitely recall back in the mid-2010s when the VSA was really trying to expand its activities and get heaps more kids that opportunity to get overseas and surf in comps and have those experiences. Stu Free and Bron and the whole family were always like the first on board just to jump in with whatever was needed to get the kids over there, whether it was accommodation or transport, moral support. He's just always been there for anyone that needed the help, and it's difficult to overstate how instrumental he's been in getting the VSA to where it is now. So yeah, massive shout outs to you and Bron and the whole family.
Big thank you to Stewart and Ron Winfrey for taking care of the Vanuatu Surfing Association crew while we're in Australia. Thank you for the surfboards, thank you for the place to stay. Thank you for all the support you did for us. We really appreciate everything that you've done. Also sending love to Susan, and also remembering Jeff who has passed on. Your kindness and generosity will never be forgotten, as well as not forgetting all the other friends who have helped us along the way. Thank you, Tomas.
Thank you to Stewart and Brown Free and family for looking after the boys and taking care of the boys back in Australia, and also for sponsoring the boys with new surfboards, and not forget them Susan and late chef. Thank you also looking after the boys back in Australia. Thank you Tomas for your generous heart. May God bless you all. Thank you.
Good afternoon. Name me Ben Brookman. Me come to place here with a big fella, honor, more respect, more glad, way full up, way glad, way glad. From say Cameron McLeod, man block cover, also man block full up now fella something, be Emmy making good cover now, yeah. Emmy been asking me to make him one talk, side lo get a free family where we make him full up good something. Where go ahead, long lift him up glad, long all picking in Blopango, side long surfing, more side long school something. Time before, me been stopped lo Vanuatu. Me fella, old man's like lo ski, and me got tinkling, lo make him one Vanuatu Surfing Association. Lo help him up Pikinini, blow panga, mo now for the place, blow learn him how now blow ski. Be me fella no got one ting. Me fella no got one vatu. Me fella no got one something, be me got some idea. After, me fella talk with him Stewie Free, where brain bleh him, me very big one. The big one way big one. And me come up with him full up idea of how now me fella win him vatu, blow make him good VSA. So Stewie, my family bleh him, Bronwyn, Emily, Cody. He come lo bango, blow lift him up glad, blow full up man. With him good fella something blow school. He come with him full up good something long ski. After he come with him full up ski, more clothes play him, more leash, more full up good something. And all picking in he glad way glad. Now yeah, VSA go ahead strong way strong. Before ME1 picking anyway small way not got too much hope. But now yeah, ME1 strong something and one big fella something long contribute long him. My family bro Stewart Free and family play him. So me come with a big fella honor more respect. Tell him out thank you to us long free family. Long plant him good fella seed. Long VSA more full up narrow fella good something. Thank you bro listen lo talk blo me. Me hope say VSA go ahead strong, my free family, and me stop low one happy place where Danny stay light. Thank you to us, long understanding, more listening, long talk, long me. Name me, Ben Brookman. Thank you to us, Cameron, LA. Good night.
We know our roots.